Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. This is Chris with Great Northwest Comics. I hope you're all having a great weekend leading up to Christmas. I took a couple of days off, so I'm feeling nice and relaxed and refreshed, and thought I'd put out another video. This will be my last video for the year, so please enjoy. I've got a lot of great books to show today from my pull list, as well as some great Spawn pickups and even some Spawn toys. And so let's get into it. First off, you can see here I got Wonder Woman #4 that features Santa Claus on the cover. I was looking for more Christmas covers, but apparently they're so popular, makes sense. This time of the year, they all sold out, but I was able to pick up this little one. I think it's a great cover. Kind of reminds me of Adam Hughes a little bit, but it's not Adam Hughes. Next up is a interesting book. Features the art of Alex Ross. It's also features, I think, all the covers of the Joker and Harlequin. I haven't literally looked through it yet, but it's basically a book of covers. So very cool. Next up is Batman 140. This is the second book in the new storyline. I don't usually collect Batman, but I thought I'd go ahead and try this since people were talking about the writer and how it's going to be a good storyline. So we'll see. I read the first one and I thought it was pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. Next up, again, I don't usually collect Batman, but I ended up picking up #2 Batman City of Madness, and this is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I have to pick this up, but I didn't realize it was like this magazine format, and which is fine because I usually store these. I have a box to store these in, so it's no problem. So very cool artwork. I tried to find #1, but apparently those have sold out, and it was just a cover buy, so I don't think I'm going to pick up the whole story. All right, next up, just real quick. So this is Colorless. It's a manga. My comic book store sells them, so I can place orders and have it applied towards my my purchase totals, and once I reach $100, I get $10 off on my next purchase. So I was very happy to pick this up. Yeah, it's a big pile. So it's like my area looked like comic books just threw up all over the place. There's so many. Next up is Borealis from Dark Horse. Very interesting. It's like a Native American woman who comes into some unique powers based on, I think, their cultural legends. So very cool. I haven't finished reading it yet, so I can't tell you the whole thing about it. Next up is Canary #1. Now this is the foil edition, so yes, I got suckered into buying an additional book because it's foil. It's all pretty and shiny. And then I picked up Canary 2, which came out this week, so it continues the story. Apparently it's a 3-issue story or a series, and I can see why, because there's a lot of pages to this. It's like a thicker book than what you'd normally get, so very happy with that. And it's also priced a little higher too, at $5 each. Next up is Deviant, or The Deviant. People are talking about what a great story this is, so I thought I'd go ahead and pick up a copy, especially since my comic book store had issue 1 and issue 2. So I think it's a horror story or something, so we'll see. I'm sure I'll enjoy it because I like horror books. Next up is Antarctica. Now, I hadn't intended to pick this one up because I don't think the story is very good, but I forgot to have it pulled from my pull list. So since the shop ordered it, I picked it up. I did read it, and the story is just a little too weird for me. I do like the covers, though. I mean, I think the artwork's great, and if you personally enjoy this series, I'm not trying to discourage you from reading it. It just didn't really check all the boxes for me for a sci-fi story. Next up is a Hexagon Bridge. Still enjoying this series. Very cool. Love the covers. Little guy in a spaceship or something down there. Rogue Sun. Still enjoying this one as well. Always great covers. Let's see. The Madness, #5. So this series is coming to an end with issue #6. Very cool. And then Somna. I think it's supposed to be like Insomnia. So that's Somna by Distillery. Distillery? I don't know. So I like the story. I don't think I put it on my pull list though, so I'll have to check on that. It's another giant magazine size one, and unfortunately, like the magazine size ones are stored in the garage because I don't have any space for that box. So they're not easily accessible all the time. So once they're in there, they'll probably never come out again. Next up, reprint of X-Men. Is this one the right one? Oh, it's 142. So I got 141 and 42. I want to say, I don't know if my brother had these in his collection originally. Probably. He probably bought them as back issues because I think these came out before we were really collecting. Enjoyed this story. I thought it'd be cool to have these in my collection just for fun, for reading material. And I did read them and still enjoyed them. And of course, they made that great X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, I believe it was called. And it inspired me to watch it again. So over the holiday break here, I'll try to um, watch that. A lot of times on the holidays, I'll watch the movies that are really long, like Lord of the Rings or something, because they're like 3.5 hours. And so I have more time on my hands, during the holidays, so I could do that. Next up, now I got this from an online claim sale. I'm not going to say who I got it from, but I was kind of unhappy with the two books I got from him. This is the Legion of Superheroes 298, which features the first appearance of Amethyst. I didn't have a raw copy of this in my collection. I just have a graded copy, so I thought I'd pick it up. Now, first off, he got my order wrong, or claim wrong. I said I wanted, he had two of these up for auction, and I wanted both of them. I wanted an Adventure Comics and then a Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and all he sent me was this book and this Legion of Superheroes 197. And then the condition, he described this one as being near mint, and it's not. It's only like probably an 8.5 to a 9.0. So I wasn't very happy about that, plus the fact that he got my order wrong. Then this one, I don't know if I think I watched the video again, and I don't think he actually said what the condition of this book was. He just had it priced well. But it has and it's hard to see on the claim sale because he has a really lousy setup. It looks totally ghetto. And sorry if I'm being cruel on that, but it is something like he uses like plywood and some metal brackets or something to hold the comic books on there, and he's in this god awful little room. And that's just me. I mean, you can judge me for my space here, whatever. But I just was like kind of turned off about how his setup is. And now that I got these really crummy books from him, I'm not going to be buying from him for a while. This one looks like it's got like water damage in the corner. It's got chipping, and it's just probably the worst. I have multiple copies of this, and so this is probably the worst condition one I have, and so very unhappy with the price on that and the other one. And plus, I think what sellers are doing right now, the claim sale people are doing, they're overcharging for shipping. So I got charged $10 for shipping, and he kept like messaging me saying, "Hey man, I'll just hold on to these. So on my next claim sale, when you buy more books, it'll make the shipping cost, more practical." And I'm just like, that's your gimmick. You want me to buy like 10 books from you to make it worth the shipping. And normally I do try to buy at least 2 books, but I noticed that, all the shipping prices went up. They used to be like $6 to $7, and now they're like 10. And it's just a way for them to kind of con you into buying more than what you intended to do, I think, personally. When I buy on eBay, eBay, I think sellers get discounts on the shipping, and so the shipping costs are probably a little better. But I know that when you send media mail, it's only $4. I don't think it even matters what part of the country you're in. It's $4. And so for them to charge $10, that's just adding on and trying to get you into the mentality of, oh yeah, I do need to buy more from you to make this more worthwhile. So very turned off, and I don't mean to be negative, but just maybe really think about the books I bought from him in the past, the ones I've had problems with, and the ones that I've been happy with as well. But I don't like that. I feel like I'm being upsold or being coaxed into buying more than I intended to. So, but anyways, like I said, I'm not going to name names or anything. That's just me personally, my own view about my experience buying from that claim sale person. Anyways, I don't know if you know about this series or if there's some glare on there, so I'm holding them forward. So this is She Bites, issues 1, 2, and 3. I ended up picking up this issue number 3 on eBay because I didn't realize when I bought these other 2 at the store that it was a 3-book series, and I had stopped collecting them just to save money. But it turns out that this series has been picked up by probably Netflix or Amazon or something, to possibly be a TV show or movie. And it's about a young vampire that was a girl that was turned to into a vampire at a young age. And so she actually needs to hire like a babysitter so she can get around and do adult things like grocery shopping and stuff, I guess, or whatever she does. It's very gory, but it's also very funny. And so I look forward to seeing if they actually produce a show out of that. I think they could definitely dial down the gore if they wanted to make it a more PG-13 or PG friendly for for the kids. So anyway, so next up is all the Spawn books I promised. So I picked up a couple from the local comic book store, and then most of the other ones are from my weekly pull list. All right, so this is Spawn number 40. I did pick up number 39, which is Spawn in a Christmas outfit from West Coast Avengers, and it hasn't arrived in the mail yet, but I'm not going to wait for that to arrive to make the video. So very cool. This is very good condition too. It's only like $10. It was like one small spine tick, and it's almost like a gift to find a Spawn book that's only like $10 these days because they're just overpriced. Issue 284. This is the black and white, I guess, sketch variant, and I have the color. And my goal is, if you've watched my channel, is to have multiple copies of the same issue. And I usually try to get the A cover or the B cover or whatever. And so I happened to see this at the same shop and picked it up, and it is minty fresh. So this is from my pull list. The King Spawn was at 28. Scorch 24. I thought these came out at the same time. So I'm wondering why that one's only 24 and the other one's 28. Maybe I'm wrong on that. The regular Spawn title, 348. So we're getting closer and closer to 350. And the alternate cover. I don't know which one's A or which one's B. Probably the A cover is the one that says World Record Breaking Comic. And then I picked up Philadelphia. I've recently read issues 1 through 12 digitally, and I found out that they were having Spawn featured in this one, and I guess Savage Dragon as well. So I thought I'd pick it up and see what it's about. So this is 32, and I ended up ordering issue 31 online from eBay because they didn't have it in the stores anywhere, and I went to 3 different stores, and they didn't have it. So got the noir cover and the color one. And then I was able to pick up World Tree 33. This is, I think, a variant cover of issue number 4. Just thought it was cool, so I picked it up since I was getting those other cool books. Next up, the big purchase of the week is Spawn. Oops, sorry about that. Spawn 122 features the first appearance of She-Spawn. I picked this up on eBay for about $100. And what's interesting about this book is that when I got it, I thought something looked a little off, and it turns out that the online seller sent me the wrong slab book. He had 2 auctions going. One was for 140, 150, and this was for 100. And you could clearly, even though they're the exact same grade, you could clearly see a few defects here and there that separated them out. So I could see why he priced one at 149 or 39. This one, the serial number ends in 2001. But when I made my purchase, I was buying 2002. So when I got this book in, I let the seller know that I got the wrong book, and he apologized and offered to send me the other one. And I said, no, I'm perfectly happy with this copy. I think I got the fair market value on it anyways, even though the mistake was made. So technically, he should have sent me the one that was listed for $140. And so he said he'd take care of me next time I do another order. So very happy with that book. I think raw copies of this were going for like $75. So with the value I got, I was able to avoid doing the pressing and the submission to CGC. And next up, we got some cool collectibles here. I don't know if I showed this one before. I won this at the West Coast Avengers WinterCon. This is the collectible where it has the VHS copy of Todd McFarlane working with an audience to create a new and unique character, which you can watch on YouTube. And then it also features Spawn number 1 and some cool stuff on the back. And I was actually thinking of cracking this out and taking the comic book out because it's in such high grade. It's probably like a 9.6. The only thing I'd be concerned about is if this case, if this book was rubbing against the VHS tape, it might cause some scratching and stuff and then downgrade it. So I'll probably keep it in its case as it is. And if I feel like selling it later on, I will. And then I had a recent experience with Todd McFarlane Toys toy store online. So I picked up these page punchers, and I did 2 orders. I got this Gunslinger and Spawn page poppers for like 25% off a while back, and it came well packaged, and I'm very happy with them. Yeah, I think they're really cool. I like Gunslinger, of course, is my favorite Spawn character, and of course the original, the OG Spawn. And then I saw that they were doing a sale for like 50% off. And so I got the Scorched pack. And unfortunately, they shipped it in a smaller box. And so the plastic got damaged. The tops got bent. And so I reached out to their customer service about it. And they actually stated that because I didn't put in my order that I was an inbox collector, they basically sent me a second, which means it's a damaged or less desirable unit. So that's, if you worked in retail, you know what that is, which I did. And so I was really disappointed because like they didn't say it anywhere when I placed the order that you should note that, but it's bent up here where you can see that white line. It's got cracks or bends down there, and then the comic book inside is damaged. So I reached out to their customer service about it, and all they offered me was a $10 credit to use towards a new purchase or my next purchase, or I could return this one. But then if I returned it, I would have to pay for shipping, which makes no sense because these only cost like $20 together with shipping originally. So I took the $10 credit, I applied it towards a new order, and I'll show you what I got next time, and we'll see if they pay attention to the note, because I did put inbox collector, and hopefully I'll get the desirable copy, the one that you would normally expect to get, and not a second. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year.